Hello, viewers. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Aijaz Qureshi Show. Today, we are going to talk about challenges for women entrepreneurs. I know that they are facing lots of different challenges as compared to men. Men do have their own challenges, but women do have their own challenges when it comes to the entrepreneurship. And for this important topic, to discuss this in detail, we have invited our great friend, Ms. Nargis Zahra. Ms. Nargis Zahra is from Gaithersburg, Maryland, USA. She's in the States, and she's an entrepreneur herself. She's an analyst, and she's a counselor as well. She has experience of over 16 years in these positions. Before that, she has been a lecturer at the NDU, which is the National Defense University, and she also has been the editor of the Journal of Contemporary Studies. Let's welcome our esteemed guest, Ms. Nargis Zahra. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you, Ms. Nargis?
Thank you so much. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to host you on our show today, and it's really amazing. Thank you so much. And the comments have started pouring. We barely went live, and we have Mohammed Murtaza saying, "Good morning, Aijaz sir. How are you doing?" Walaikum assalam, sir. Thank you so much. Good morning to you as well. I'm doing well, and our esteemed guest is doing well too. Thank you so much for hopping on the show. Keep watching the Aijaz Qureshi show. Great. So before we head to the topic, we'll try to explore a little bit more about you. I know that you have done so much in the field of education and the entrepreneurship. We'll explore that as well. If I take you, Ms. Nargis, to your childhood, 3, 4, 5 years old, Nargis Zahra, what comes to your mind? What is the earliest childhood memory that you recall?
5 years old, I was a chirpy fireball.
All right.
This is what I'm told. I was talkative and very lively child, but I was a fireball when I was, offended.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yes.
So, would you consider yourself an extrovert at that time?
I have always been an extrovert.
You have always been, and you're still an extrovert.
Yes, because I was the youngest, and everyone just encouraged me to be an extrovert.
Oh, that's even better.
Yes, I was the child who was invited in the drawing room, especially by her. Let's listen to some stories.
Awesome, great. So, what did you study, and where did you study?
My father was in government service, so we were I would say, hopping from one school to the other.
I see. Because they get posted to after so many years, they get transferred to different places.
Yes. So he was an engineer, mashallah, gold medalist of UET, and he was working with government of Punjab in Pakistan at different places. So every 2 years, I was in a new school. So when people say, "Where do you belong?" I don't know, where I belong to. I belong to all of Punjab.
You belong to Pakistan, right?
Yeah, perfectly. And then I have lived, once my father died, then I was the one who moved out for studies. So I have lived more of my life in Islamabad than I ever lived in any city of Punjab.
Oh, I see. Beautiful place, yes. Islamabad. I love Islamabad. Great.
And my educational degrees, my terminal degrees, as they call it here, my terminal degrees of MS and MPhil both are from Islamabad. So let's say that I got education from there.
Very nice. What field of study that you went through in those 2 degrees?
My master's was in strategic studies, in which I did my research on non-traditional security challenges.
Wow, that's amazing. So what made you decide to become an educationist and become a teacher or lecturer, professor?
I think since ever, like if you would have asked me what was Nargis at 7, I would have said a teacher, because the first game I ever played or I wanted to play was being a teacher.
Being a teacher, yes.
And though I'm like the like younger lot of the house, but my siblings used to become my students and at me. It was a game always. And I was trying to control them. So if I used to lose my temper, I was losing my points or rewards or ice cream. So it was a game. So when I was 9, my father talked to one of his office subordinates, and he sent his daughter to me, and I taught her Quran.
Wow.
So my father said, if you have to become a teacher, so just as a good omen, just start from teaching Holy Quran. I didn't know how to, but I just started working with her. She was just few years younger to me. I was 9 or 10.
Wow. Wow. MashaAllah, that's great. That's great.
So this is when I have never stopped it. And that school break time, lunch time. So I never used to bring lunch with me. And because I was so ambitious to teach the girls who did not understand. I was coming from a convent school, and my metric was from a government school because my father wanted us to be very proficient in both of the languages.
Sure.
So I was teaching them English in recess.
Wow.
But the paid teaching started obviously much later when I completed my master's and after that.
Awesome. Great. So from education, being an educationist, you moved towards the entrepreneurship, and mashallah, I know that you're a successful entrepreneur. What made you move from being an educationist to the entrepreneurship?
Well, recently means somewhere it was there because I had to gift my father something and I didn't have money for that. Okay. I really wanted to buy him something and I was in grade 7 then.
Grade 7, acha.
Yes. So I went to him and I told him my dilemma, that how can I gift you with your own money? That won't be a gift.
Wow, sure.
So he said, okay, make something for me and I'll give you a prize. So I made custard for him, which was a salty custard because I just confused salt with sugar. Somehow, I'm sorry, but I just did it. So he couldn't eat it like beyond 1 or 2 spoons maybe, but he gave me money. Okay. And my mother just pitched in something and I went and I bought a book for my father.
Wow.
So then I decided that I have to be financially independent, which is, it's in the protective environment of Pakistan. Not everyone, promotes it. When a daughter says anything about money, father or brother or someone comes up saying, let's do it for you.
Yeah. So
this is where it was. But entrepreneurship is a thing which came somewhere in 2003 and 4.
Okay.
I was doing, I was preparing for exams in Pakistan. And my teachers were bureaucrats, the 3 people who had this academy in south of Punjab in Multan then.
Okay.
And I was giving them suggestions. So while I was giving them suggestions how to improve this and that, they said, why don't you just join us as a team?
Yeah.
So I joined them, and once I completed, I was done with my exams and all, and they said, why don't you just have it? Please just have it. So I said, no, I won't have it like that. I would like to, buy it or something. So I was honorarily teaching English at college at that time. And they were paying me 8,000 a month, 8,000 rupees.
Okay.
I wasn't confident to be an entrepreneur because culturally we are so protected. I talked to 2 of my friends. Miss Rani Khesra and Miss Fazia Yusuf. One was then vice principal at a school already.
Okay.
They both joined hands, and it was a venture which started with 30,000. And one of our teachers also recommended a PN for it. That was the only staff we had, and we three. And this academy is successfully, like, it has expanded. It is still working.
Wow.
And yes, that was the first thing.
Awesome. 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 That's great. That's great. So you had the entrepreneurship somehow in the back of your mind, and you wanted to make money and earn for yourself and for the
Yes.
family, and then you went for it. So today's topic is challenges for women entrepreneurs, and nevertheless, I mean, the challenges are. I think that there are challenges for men and women both, actually. But maybe women, because of the culture, because of the traits, because of the norms, there may be a little more towards that. But let's explore. And so when we talk about challenges for women entrepreneurs, what comes to your mind? What is the first and foremost challenge?
First and foremost is the love of your family. People do not identify it, but love of your family does not let you
Do anything. That's it.
do anything or move. We don't read this challenge in the books. And somehow, as humans, generally men or women, we are raised to identify all those challenges in life which come as adversity. We do not identify the conformist, loving, or protecting challenges, which are actually hindrances in the long run. And because we don't identify, we never work on that.
Right.
And when we identify, then the first thing that hits us, that hits our conscience as a daughter, is guilt. That maybe we are not being a good wife or good daughter or, good sister. So we just keep having a self-reflection with ourselves and trying to curb our own thoughts or the feelings that we are tired, we are being negative, and the community we are surrounded with, the friends and all, when we talk to them, they tell us, oh, no, just don't think negative about it. No, it's not being negative, it's being realistic. So first thing is love. What they say, what West considers about the women in Pakistan specifically, I would not say South Asia here, because South Asia is different. The culture of every country in South Asia, when it comes to day-to-day behavior, is very different.
True.
Right? So having a common land, we live it. It doesn't have to do with the religious, impacts we are having to our culture. So the Muslims in majority in Pakistan, because this is where I have lived, these people want to do everything for their daughters. So they will marry off their daughter to a jobless person or a parasite kind of a husband. They will not let her get divorced or get independence, but they will keep feeding her kitchen, giving her grocery, or pampering her on Eid gifts in the name of, under the carpet, or setting businesses or finding jobs for her husband, but protecting their daughter nevertheless, to the point that kids of daughter are adults, but the family is still supporting. And there are many families who can relate to that. So love of families and their insecurity towards their daughters, when they think about, their daughters alone in society, they are so afraid of the society.
True.
So first challenge is love, the foremost. And yes, I can list others, but I think that was the question.
Awesome. Great. Where do you see, in terms of the capabilities or the expertise or the traits that an entrepreneur should have? Where do you see a woman in that?
Actually, I hope my friends don't find it offensive, but I don't see them anywhere. I don't see them anywhere, wherever anyone is.
That's
Unfortunate. I would not name, it's not a personal thing, but I just am making a reference because this is a popular example. Everyone can relate to
Absolutely,
that. Daraz was I would say, initiative of a woman.
Nice.
Daraz was not prepared. right? So women have so many things attached to, I would say, them, that their day-to-day journey in entrepreneurship, especially in entrepreneurship, is very challenging, much more challenging than any common
Common
jobian
man.
female. Because when I was doing a job, I had zero concern about where from my institute is making money. I was doing my response. There is some job description attached. At the end of the day, my boss was answerable for efficiency of his team or the productivity of his team.
True.
And at the end of the day, I was taking my salary check and I was going home and doing some other things. And there was, there are bylaws of leave. There is sick leave. There is other vacational summer, and in education sector, you have summer vacations also.
Yes.
But once I'm in entrepreneurship, oh my God, this is 365 days a year.
There's no leave there.
Yes, and once you are connected online, you are connecting through internet. This is global, and the market does not sleep. So a woman who is from that part of the world, very conventional, where no one is trained to give her any kind of respite, because she said that if you have to be an entrepreneur, first of all, she's told about all the challenges. Secondly, when I appeared in certifications or the trainings for myself, the curriculum is not equipped to teach you according to the modern times. So the curriculum they teach you, even the most expensive and the latest workshops, is 80% out of the date thing. They teach you about the market, which is all about goods, selling and buying. It is not about the service sector. Most of the women are coming in service sector. Service sector is earning 74% revenue globally. But in Pakistan, we don't have proper curriculum for that. So a woman pays for a workshop, she goes to the workshop, she pays for the babysitter, or she requests a family member to sit with her kids. There is so much cost. And she goes to that, she compromises time from her business also. When she goes, what she gets is not even relevant to her business, and she comes back. Then she doesn't get maybe good marks or something. Then the networking thing. Networking is something which you have to do daringly. Being women, wherever I have to network, I cannot go in happy hour parties, for example. In America, why I'm not getting investors? And I was told this, I never, and I still don't believe in it, but this is somewhere in the market. I could not get investors for few of my awesome projects because I was not going to the happy hour. And somehow the investors or their wives or their families were not culturally getting along with me. And when I'm going towards Islamic community, I'm not fundamentalist enough to be a part of them. Community, I'm not Western enough to be part of them. So subconsciously, I'm not a priority to have on the PR list. So my company goes back, right? When I go to Pakistan, they are envious towards me because I'm in USA. But they want me to invest. They want me to give them money. They consider me a bank. I'm not a bank, I'm a company, right? And so you have to deal with economic psychology, religious psychology, and then every psychology affecting their economic psychology, they are not even aware of that. So I became a counselor. I became a counselor because a lady wearing a suit of worth 18,000 rupees, having a watch of worth many thousand rupees,
wow,
and a cell phone of 70,000 rupees is requesting me to waive her 5,000 rupees of my fee. Seriously? Just because
that's a mentality.
That she has gone to a counselor. But when they go to a gynecologist, to them charges them 3,000 for 2 minutes. I charge 5,000 for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And I listen to them, I give them therapies, and I just take them off all the medicine, give them a healthy lifestyle. No, they don't want to pay me. They can't tell, it's a taboo. I don't complain the women, I complain the psychology of the society.
Yes.
So my service sector sisters, wherever they are struggling, and they don't even identify what they are struggling against. So they are making sales for their money. Yeah, and they can't even, many of them are paying their maids and their assistants by help of their brothers and their husbands. I have researched on so many profiles who are doing awesome, taking awards, reaching here, reaching there. They have very strong business family at the back, and their family is their angel investor. No female from Pakistan till date has made 10 years success at her own starting from zero. We don't have economic behavior to make a woman an entrepreneur. We just don't have that. True. And I don't know whether I should speak it or not because people judge you, but all my sisters have gone through it. Even a clerk, tries to have your number.
Yeah.
So this is something such below the belt thing in that part of the world.
True.
And I'm so happy to be in business and in USA because at least this thing is, just out of the picture. But there, if you are a female entrepreneur, I don't know, you have to deal with such kind of thing also.
True.
And not many ladies talk about it.
True.
But I think we should also have soft skill development for the females.
Absolutely. I think that challenge, Ms. Nargis, is not only for the entrepreneurial women, it's pretty much for everybody. I mean, that's how frustrated, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say it, that's how unfrustrated our society has become actually in that part of the world. That's the problem. So how would you defy, or how would you suggest women to defy these social expectations that people have from them?
I think, first of all, a woman has
Viewers, I'm sorry, we are having some network difficulties here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I think every woman you are innovative in your business. It's kind of an event.
Sorry, Ms. Nargis, I think we are having some challenges here. Your voice is not coming over and neither video properly. So I think it's the network stability or something going on. I'm not sure what it is, but
can you hear me? Because I can see you and I can hear you.
May I suggest you to turn off all the other tabs? If there is any tab open, just leave this tab open on your laptop. Just this one, only one. And close all other windows.
So do we have it now?
Yes.
Can you see me? Because I can see you now.
Yeah.
And can you hear me too?
I can hear you too.
Okay, thank you so much. So should I go back to the answer?
Yes, please.
Yes. So yes, what I was saying is that it's very cherishing. It's if you have even a little bit of desire to become a business lady, just go for it. And being a business lady is a slightly different thing than being an entrepreneur. And entrepreneur means that you are being innovative and you are trying to give some trend in your market or in your economy, something which was not there in that market earlier. Being an entrepreneur and a business lady, it's very challenging, but it's very rewarding. It is so cherishable. And what gives me energy is that once I'll be older, no one would give me a retirement and say, okay, now you just have to live off a pension and go back home. No, because your business, it keeps multiplying. And when I would die, my son would inherit it. My son would never have been able to inherit my job, but he will inherit it. And then it's a lot of learning. It's a lot of learning. When I was working with an institution, I was getting to only people from relevant sectors. But I have known so many precious people. So many people are added in my life. My network is, I would say, full of the gem kind of people from all factions of life and all walks of life. So yes, it's worth it. One should try it once in life for 3 or 4 years at least.
Awesome. So my question is, now we talked about the social expectations from other people, from women specifically. We are focusing on women entrepreneurs. So how women should be able to defy these social expectations that people have from them, like whatever, asking their numbers, or people staring at them at work. No matter what you wear, they would still pass the comments and things like that. So how to defy and go away from these social challenges and expectations that people have from women or for women.
I think I have no harm in doing 1 or 2 courses of personal grooming for social communications.
Okay.
There is no harm in it. I myself have done that. Because I realized that despite being educated, certified in entrepreneurship, I am a World Bank Women X certified, and I have a graduation from GC for entrepreneurship, Government College University, Lahore, Pakistan. But despite that, the things were not working out. So I was pitching the projects and someone else was getting the projects. So that's kind of frustrating because eventually you have to run your kitchen.
True.
So I think the best thing is that identify your weakness. We call it your weaknesses. We know your strengths. Go for your weaknesses because your weaknesses are not letting your strengths to, get things materialized. So address your weaknesses. My weakness was obedience, which again, I said that we don't take challenges which are not adverse. So I went back to do a course and I have learned to identify the people that who to obedient towards and who not to obedient to. This is very important because you don't go ahead in your business by following the obedience thing, right?
Right.
And like in Pakistan, this is like if I have to someone from family on board, the true independence of the decision never comes towards the women, and in wantedly or unwantedly they are seeking suggestions from their husbands or from their brothers. So what if a female is doing the bakery and a husband is, for example, a cashier or an accountant, but she will have to seek his advice, which is not relevant. So a mentorship is very important, and a sincere mentorship is very important, and mentorship from both of the genders. We have some commendable people, even from our own country, who don't make you gender conscious, who take you as a human. I have few people in my life also, and for example, my brother has a different business than mine. So his network is different, his sector is different, his bylaws are different.
True.
So beyond 20%, I am clueless, and in every field, whether you are a male or female, you need guidance.
Yes.
So yes, we should groom ourselves. We should know how to judge people, how to add them, who to take out of our network.
Right.
We should realize the body language of certain business class in which we are moving. If we don't know the body language, we are bound to have setbacks, and cons are everywhere in every era. So yes, and then yes, coming back to this kind of emotional challenge thing, I would say I have always I was taught by my mother to not get engaged with any bypasser boy. When I was going to university, she said, you don't have to look at him, you don't have to respond. Simple. There are 2 reasons. One, we don't get engaged in those things which waste our energies. Secondly, you don't have to get noticed because you'll be alone on campus. And third, even boys have their self-respect. They come from families. They realize or not, but this is our responsibility. But despite all this, the things come to you because you're online. My profile is public because my clients are online, and especially in pandemic, even before that, 1 year before pandemic, I was taking my clients online because I was in US. Most of the clientele is in Pakistan.
Right.
So it happens. So what you do is you just block. Simple. Ignorance is simple thing. We cannot teach lessons because we will stop at this place. And what about our business goals? Some people have their age at the back of it. Some people just do it. Maybe someone is sending me a good morning and he's sending to 50 people.
True.
Someone is sending me, oh, I like you, but he doesn't even recall my name. He's sending it to 15 ladies because this is what he is for on
True.
Facebook.
Very true.
Once, I heard somewhere, and it's a very funny kind of example,
Sure.
that some people are like a blind arrow. They have to hit somewhere.
Yeah.
So just bend down.
Yeah.
Let them hit where they have to. Don't be in their path.
Keep shooting, and they will hit somewhere.
Yeah. So wherever I go for the business meeting or this kind of thing, and if I'm in conversation with a person, one flirtatious remark, and I'm off the deal. This is much more rule for me. I don't know that whether every female would like to follow it or not, because stakes are higher. I come from a business family, so my business is, okay, I need this business, but it's not that if I lose this business, I will lose shelter or I will lose, my basic needs. That's not the case.
True.
My life is well addressed, and then I'm doing the business.
Right.
But many females have, harder stakes of life. They're all at their own, and I don't expect each one of them to back off. Sometimes you don't have an option. You have to work with a person who is not good.
True.
In any aspect, and you are not
That's
comfortable to work with, but you have to work with.
That's
it happens in Pakistan more than it happens in America.
True. Or anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Awesome. Biggest challenge that comes to women entrepreneur as compared to anybody else is the funding, access to funding. What do you think is it a real challenge, and how that challenge, if it is, then how that challenge can be addressed?
Sorry, come again, please. Which challenge?
Access to funding.
Oh, yes, that is. This is kind of 50% thing. What I have realized, one thing is that females don't know how to pitch their business proposals. They are not taught to.
Sure.
And sometimes they are not trained to invest in pre-launching planning of the business. So the pre-launch is that you hire someone who writes a proposal. Sometimes she has to invest, and she may not get permission from her angel investor to invest in proposal. So there could be many cultural, personal, domestic reasons, or her own, capacity.
Limiting beliefs or limiting capacities.
Yeah. Yes, she can get the funding. Secondly, females are not raised and trained to think in business terms. Naturally, a female, especially in that part of the world, in Africa and Asia and Arab, is raised in a very selfless manner. She believes in giving. So getting her own profit or asking for money is psychologically very difficult for females. And especially beyond, as I said, I know many females who are successful just because their families right away invested, and their family, the males from their family in business, guided them or hired people for them. But when this is like one woman versus the finance, market versus the finances. No, this is very difficult. Secondly, females are mothers too. Females have to spend evenings with their family. They have to prepare dinners. They have to be there with family.
True.
They cannot do the happy hours.
Yeah.
So, and we all know that in world of business and politics, the signatures are done on the tables. But a lot is done in unofficial hours where mostly women are not present. If they are present because of a family member.
True.
In Pakistan, what is happening that communities of business ladies are being formed and they help each other. So I am now working on a narrative, and I hope I borrowed this narrative from Miss Ishrat. She's having chain of daycare centers here in Maryland.
Okay.
And when she started her first daycare, Miss Ishrat Memon, yes. And when she started her first, she didn't have money at hand. But the lady who was her boss and she was selling, she told her that you don't need money to start a business. Sometimes your connections and your skill can also make you have a business. So when I interviewed Miss Ishrat Memon, I just picked up the idea and I thanked her. So that's why I'm giving a reference, because this is a due. It's coming from somewhere.
Right.
But I am working on the narrative to make every fellow entrepreneur women, every fellow women in the field, that please don't lose heart if you don't have money. Because money is something which is a piece of paper with some ink on it and a state at the back. We
Right.
have fiat money. Ladies don't have concepts clear or education of economy, finance, marketing, or monetary. If they don't understand monetary things, they don't know where to find their investor.
True.
So they are talking to random people. The random people, irrelevant people, they are getting irrelevant no, and they are getting irrelevant hopelessness. So this is difficult. Not because market is not giving them. This is difficult because they don't know where to knock at.
Right.
Yes.
Another challenge, I think, and it's coming from me specifically, that people don't take women seriously. That's another challenge, right?
Yes, this is universal.
So unfortunate. That's the unfortunate thing. But what can women do so that people start taking them seriously?
My instructor told me to flourish and prosper. So I will copy it from there.
Sure.
That what I have done since I was a child, and that was some kind of unconscious thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make friends with my mother when my father died. So there was a gap.
Right.
And I wanted to get along with her, and we didn't have a common topic. So I used to translate whatever I was studying in politics and history. I used to translate and talk to my mother in Punjabi. So my mother was an entrepreneur. My mother had her agricultural business. She had her investments, but she was formally uneducated. So give her a register of Patwar, and she could tell you everything. Where are the measurements of her lands?
Wow.
This is why no one could take away anything from us once my father passed away.
Wow.
So my mother had everything on tips. And in a very polite manner, I saw her talking to Patwaris and Tehsildars that, bhai, no. The draw line was here before that sandstorm, after that flood. So this is for this son, this is for this daughter.
Wow.
So that lady was very intelligent. And then I realized once the barrier of the language went down, oh my God, I learned a lot from her.
Wow.
And this is where I started doing it.
Awesome.
So knowledge is the first thing. You cannot do anything without knowledge. So once her folk knowledge came together, that was something which I do miss in many of daughters and mothers when I just look at it. And yes, females should work a lot on their capacity building. It's not that simple that you will make few cookies and you will sell it. You have to understand the market you are in, because this pandemic, and I go around here in USA, Maryland, where I live, female-owned family businesses are dying. Their click factor was taste of that women, and especially the food businesses.
Right.
Why they are dying? Because they were bad at marketing. If people don't know you are here, if you don't shift a bit or transform your thing with with the changing trends, then, and I was, the other day I was like, oh, then we would be, maybe all these baking businesses would die and we would be left to, having these big, I would say, for example, there is a grocery store, we call it Giant here.
Mm-hmm.
So we will be left with the choice of the cakes from Giant or Costco or,
Yeah, exactly.
customized things, because the small businesses are dying. So
True,
yes,
true.
self learning, capacitating, doing your research, learning by yourself, making others understand, stepping a bit towards them. They are not becoming a hurdle because they want to. Sometimes good intentioned people become a hurdle. So you have to tell them. And the best answer is to flourish and prosper. Just move ahead and leave them back. If they don't join you, just leave them back. Best answer.
Awesome. Thank you. Another challenge that I see in the society where women are entrepreneur, they try to shy away from owning their accomplishments. They accomplish so many things, but they try to not own them actually, and give credit to other people around them. It's good to give credit to the team, and that's fine. But again, owning their own accomplishment, I think it's a good thing. What do you think?
I think they don't do it because they are taught to not do it. As I said, that we are raised as a mothers. Even a little girl is given a doll and she's feeding that doll.
True. Yeah.
So we are raised to become so selfless.
Yeah.
And there is something very common in households, and no one takes it seriously. Even I have never taken it seriously, that in those families where 1/4 of the population is living, whenever a child does something, achieves something, father says, oh, my son, my daughter. When there is a mistake or a complaint, especially about a teenage boy, there are so many complaints coming home.
Yes.
The fathers are like, your son. So why then your son? The DNA changes when he. So it's a narrative that and on a light mode, even the proportion of salt in your food, the light in your house, the aroma, the smell, the proper ironing of the dress, the laundry, even everything goes to the females. And a female, once she's married, works 18 hours a day.
True.
This is an average worldwide.
Yeah.
And they are so habitual.
And the unfortunate part is that she doesn't have time for herself, actually.
Yes, and she doesn't even realize. And when she realizes, many of them become radical feminists, and we have an Aurat March then, which is another polarization we can't afford, unfortunately. So yes, females actually they think that once they reflect love, they will get back love. So unfortunately, since our ancestor mothers, we are trained to think. Sorry, does it happen what?
Does it happen that way?
It does happen that way because this is in the books of science and clinical psychology and mind sciences, that if there is a habit or a way of thinking for 3 generations in DNA, right? So if 3 generations of our mothers have thought that they cannot take credit, they are thankful for their husband for giving them identity. This is something very basic, and it comes in a culture. There are some tick characteristics of a good female, and we want to be good female. So we will be giving away credits to everyone. We will be habitual, and we will become, because this is unnatural. We shouldn't do that. We can. Well, once I was told by a friend, and a male friend for that matter, that just be yourself. You are God's creature. So if you will be yourself, what would you do adversely to your family? Nothing. If your family loves you, they will still love you once you are being yourself.
Yeah.
And that confidence came where from? A male.
Yeah.
See? So somehow the gender equality, well, this is not a topic here directly, but somehow females' confidence comes from subconscious, and somehow some kind of warranty or approval is to be taken from a male mentor. And I always promote my friends and juniors, go for a male mentor in your business sector who is not a flirt, please, who is not. Even you can find a flirt in 90 plus, God forbid. I don't know what has happened to people. All of them are in need of, and I have told it publicly that our nation is in a state of mental health emergency.
True.
Mental health emergency, because they swap their identities too. Oh my God, this is bipolar disorder, and they don't take it seriously.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Another thing I wanted to talk to you, Ms. Gaithersburg, is that we see that women have another challenge of building a support network. Every entrepreneur would need a sound support network where they can go to and find answers to different questions, all different kinds of questions. Do you think is that a challenge, or it's not a challenge? If it is a challenge, how it can be overcome?
This is a challenge. We don't have. When I was in the certification, in every lecture, I was telling, sir, I'm from service sector. How does it relate to mine? You do, and there was only one teacher. Name the people, because I think I should do that. I owe it to him. He gave us 2 lectures in 3 months. He was the only person who came with up-to-date knowledge of service sector. So first challenge is that even your teachers, your mentors, even if you go to a training, are not equipped to guide you. Number 2, there is no concept of taking guidance beyond your family or close friend network. Number 3, the positive thing which has emerged, it's a trend in Pakistan, that is business communities of women. They have WhatsApp groups. Some are working better, some are not. There are Facebook communities. They are working, but even it's like, mutual learning by trial and error. All of them are doing it mutually, and they are very sportive. But there is one thing, which is business attitude. So a woman who is sitting in her household having some personal challenges may affect her business day more than a man, because a man just gets ready, takes his breakfast, gets prepared. It's natural. It's his natural role, and he goes out. It is set since centuries. A woman, what she does, she makes lunches and she deals with kids, maybe in-laws, parents-in-law, or husband, and everyone. And including kids, everyone is raised to take her for granted, to vent out anything, because she's comfort zone for everyone. She's the emotional cushion for everyone. A husband vents out at her.
That's true. That's very true, actually.
And mother-in-law tells her that she's adjusts to so many things. And believe me, when I was teaching, I was in a joint family, but it was a small size joint family. I used to ask my coordinator, don't give me a first class on Monday morning. My Monday was so fatigued because my Sunday was all taken care of. The weekend coming, the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry. I was hell tired on Monday.
Wow.
And my Tuesday was better, because Monday 2 p.m. I was first time when I was sitting on a chair and I was giving rest to my heels.
Wow.
This is what it trickles down to. And I was taking my vitamins. So on weekend, you forget it because you have a small child, you have an old mother-in-law, and no one is being cruel. This is in the system, right?
Yeah.
So the women's sports system starts from here, but there are many women, and even I have found some groups in Maryland. We stand with each other. We understand each other. Now, if anyone has a problem, even a mood, she just posts one thing. and there are 10, 20 sisters who just come to support her. Okay, it's okay, it's fine, it's fine. So that's a great thing lately in Pakistan. And financial support or that kind of thing where we can get money to support our businesses, or even some easy loans, we don't have it yet. We have it in Maryland. I'm part of the business advisory counselor of state comptroller here. And if I'm not wrong, I'm only staff wearing, so maybe I'm the only South Asian or something. But I don't have any any stats on that. What I have come to, like, we have 15% of the subsidies and releases, and tax relaxations for women-owned businesses, and the single-owned businesses have further thing. And even in Pakistan, there are women chambers of commerces, but unfortunately, women chambers of commerces are doing some below the belt things. And I want to tell it publicly because I don't want any female entrepreneur from any part of the Pakistan go there and fall prey to them. Seriously. So yes, they are there. There are groups working very nicely with the governors. Women chambers of commerce of Pindi and Lahore and Karachi are very active. You can go to them, support for your businesses if you have right paperwork. But we don't know about it. As we don't know, we don't avail.
Right. Yes. Exactly. Another challenge that we see for women entrepreneurs especially is balancing their business and family life. I think this is one of the biggest challenges that they come across. As you mentioned, that women have added responsibilities on top of whatever they do. Either they're working women or entrepreneurs, whatever. But what is your suggestion how they can balance their professional and personal life, family life?
I still am learning to do that. I still am learning to do that because there is some limit to human energy level each day.
Absolutely.
If this is the brain work, we can do max 6 hours, the brain work. If this is physical work, we can do max 10 hours. And if we are very strong, 12 hours. But generally, a female goes up to 18, as I tell, because anytime. And what I have achieved, I can share that.
Sure.
So mine was making your family get in trust in that we can do. And secondly, having 1 or 2 people from your family in your team as your co-workers, it just it supports the family system which is already there. So there is a set of human behaviors, and you develop another set of human behaviors, but with some financial relationship, which is your business. You can do that. And there are so many multinational corporations in the world which are family business ventures. But sure. I have seen that in Pakistan, wherever there is family involved in your business, it just falls apart. I don't know why.
That's unfortunate.
I am trying to balance it. And in Pakistan, you have house assistants. You can have a trained house assistant. My child was very young. He was 4 when I started my counseling business there. And I hired an expensive lady. She was an intermediate, and she was a sophisticated one. I could not afford her services at that time, but I had her as a live-in maid and assistant. Why? She used to take care of my bookkeeping because she was educated. She used to take care of my child in a sophisticated manner. So when I was working, I didn't leave my child with an uneducated maid. She had a conscience. She had a self-respect. She used to have a proper bedroom and a proper dressing. I never gave her the dresses which were hand-me-down thing. I always gave her money to go and buy for herself.
Wow.
So I upgraded that lady just to take care of my kid. And then I realized that though I did it out of my insecurity, but it actually helped because I got cooked meal which was hygienic. She was eating what I was eating, and she was setting the menu. So we both were on the same diet plan, right? We all were having organic, desi, protein-based things. So you can do that. And I have known so many successful females who are on jobs also. You should have one sport of such kind, be that your relative or your sister, or what happens in Pakistan. I have seen a professor's sister, actually invested her life to take care of her house just because the professor could do PhD. We shouldn't go to that level. We should have paid people. And yes, we can reduce our work this way. And second is that because our family structures, the in-laws and all, they have some insecurities. It's not that they don't trust us, they don't trust people. So the people we work with, all of my male friends or the colleagues they have met my family. I have gone to their places, they have gone to my place on occasions, on Eid, or if there is, God forbid, any death, or if there is a ceremony or anything. So my family is comfortable. My family is comfortable that these are people, you can work with. So we can start from there also. Our culture is made up of centuries. We can't change it in one generation. True. But we have to work. We are globalized. We were not ready for this. So let's work and let's start from, I think I have done these two things and I'm so comfortable. Sometimes my new colleagues, and let me give you a funny thing. I hope that friend of mine just watches it. There is a new friend added in my list. Okay. And we have so much political and intellectual compatibility. He's in his 60s maybe, and he is into a business. So he was guiding me for a few things. And I was obviously discussing with my brother too, that, your struggle is so much similar to his struggle. Now I'm in the East Coast, he's in the West Coast. We have a time difference. So my brother was going on his own business trip to West Coast, and he said, I want to see your Sikh friend. I said, why? He said, because he's guiding, he just guided me, Right. You should meet someone who is investing in me. I want to go and thank him. Yeah. Yeah. And that friend of mine, that Sardar Saab, was so surprised that why would your brother see me? So my brother was in Vegas. He was 1.5 hours flight from there. And my brother went there. Wow. And saw him and met him and spent 2 or 3 hours and drove with him, and he had to go for vaccine, that Sardar, and my brother went with him. Wow. He was like, your brother is not doing business with me. He is not even my lover. And I so laughed. I said, no, he's not following you up. It may look weird, but what my brother is doing, he's just making it, he's just making sure that I'm talking to the right people. Yeah. I shouldn't get in any kind of trouble. There is some politics going on. So everyone doesn't have such kind of, things. But yes, whoever you work with or you get guidance from, suggestions from, your family should know. They should have a right to know. Absolutely. Our generation would have to do so that our daughters would have a better idea of the market than us.
Awesome. Last question from my side would be, Ms. Nargis, that, failures are part of life and part of entrepreneurship as well, right? So how do we cope with the fear of failure? Okay, I'll do this, maybe I'll fail. I don't know, I won't be successful. I won't be able to do it. What if I fail? All these questions come to our mind before even we take the first step towards the success. We start thinking about the failure. So my question is, how should we be able to cope with the fear of failure?
Because I would answer it from two aspects, because I work with female entrepreneurs as a consultant also, and also as a counselor. First thing is that if you have thought to start a business and improved, as a brain from other human beings.
Okay.
Secondly, majority of the prophets mentioned in all 4 holy books, majority of the prophets were into trading. So this is a natural approved profession by God as I get it. So yes, you are on the right path once you think about it, give it a try. If you have started it, you are already successful. This is how I tell myself. I have told myself, and I have addressed my fears by dividing my success into different things. And the best success is that every day I wake up and I am on it. So each day that I am working on my business is a day of a success for me. And I have never thought about awards, and I have never thought about that how much I will, any coaches tell you, have a goal of this much this year. I don't, because it doesn't work for me. When I give myself a goal in digits, it panics me. Once I'm panicked, I can't work.
Right.
If I have to, because we are to work in our conventional roles also. I am a mother before anything. And I cannot afford to be panicked. If I give myself 8 or 10 digits goal this year, I will create a fear. So don't follow the trainings blindly. Don't create your fears. If you are into business, you are already successful. And secondly, when this is how I take it. If I have those figures in mind, then all other aspects of my life, because I'm a writer, and I do work on other subjects also, which are my me time. Like I volunteer for homeless people, or I go for acting sometimes. So all other aspects would be compromised if I'll be following those 8 to 10 digits, because I will create a fear. So I don't create that. I really don't create that. And my fear is addressed as long as I'm in it. And like after pandemic, nothing matters. As long as we survive it with our business, this is all what matters.
Exactly.
So if we have to eat a big size of elephant, do one bite at a time, so you will have it.
You can finish it. Exactly. That's it. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything else that I didn't ask you and you had in mind to share about this topic, today's topic, challenges?
Anything else? How I'm surviving in USA?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I should have asked that. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So how are you surviving in USA, Nargis?
I am surviving in USA. Seriously, I don't know how I'm surviving. I said it on a fun note because I am not getting along with Desi community here very much. I hope no one hears this.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, I am not getting. I don't know about Canada, but in USA, for example, if someone came here in 60s, is mentally in 60s. They outside their home, they are Americans in 2021. In personal dealings, they are Pakistani of 60s if they have come here in 60s.
True.
Same goes for the ones who came 70s and 80s or 90s. So there is a lot to deal with. The people in Pakistan are changed a lot. The people here, they are very different. Yeah. So, and financially, yes, I still am making my way. I am getting credit. For example, as I told that I was offered to be part of the business advisory council. This is a thing of great honor for me. This is an honorary position, and I have, when we started Movement of Pakistan, the first thing we wanted to have was the right to sit in Constituent Assembly.
Right.
So I am there, so I can just realize how the business in Maryland is doing. So that's an honor. But beyond that, when it comes to the fiscal thing, it is a challenge. Despite everything, it's a challenge because there is a lot of documentation going on. And they give you, because they divide, they want maximum ladies to have it. And there are so many ladies who were laid off the jobs and they have joined the business. I love all the female entrepreneurs, but they are from different cultures and backgrounds and nations here. So every lady who left her job was left with no option but to start her own business. And if I may add, only December last year, 156,000 people were laid off their jobs all over America.
Wow.
And all those 156,000 were women. So just think, many of them would be single women, mothers. Seriously. And this is an alarming thing. And I had a post on it that why women? This is some collective psychology going on somewhere. But then, there was something going on with the presidential elections and the inauguration in December. So the news was, highlight.
That's an alarming stats, actually. It's really alarming. People should take notice of this.
As I told you, the giving away mistakes towards the tables of women, it's something which is universal.
Yeah. I have a comment here from Learning with Ease saying it is important to understand these challenges, as understanding challenges are half of the solution. Absolutely. We should really understand what challenges we have, and then we come halfway closer to the solution. Very, very well said.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. So thank you so much. Let's hop on to the next segment, which is called You and Q. Q for Qureshi. So you and me. There are 3 segments into this. One is I'm going to ask you 3 good habits and 3 bad habits. All right. Then I'm going to ask you 2 multiple choice questions, and then there will be third segment is a rapid fire. I'll give you a word, and whatever comes to your mind, you will just speak from your heart, uncensored.
Okay.
All right. So your 3 habits, you would share the good one or bad one first?
As you say.
Totally your call.
Good one or bad one?
Good, 3 good, 3 bad.
Okay, one of my good habits that I love books, reading and writing, and second is resilience. I don't give up.
That's good.
And third is being pragmatic and optimistic in all situations.
That's good. That's very good. Awesome.
And the bad habits, I'm not that good a mother I wanted to be. My ambitions and my work come in the way. I can't spend that much time with my son as I want to. So sometimes he's with me, but I'm not spending time with him.
Okay.
Second is my addiction with tea and coffee.
Tea and coffee, oh my goodness. Acha.
Yes. And third is I am still learning to say no to my friends where I waste my time because of them. Yes. I still am learning to do that.
Yeah, I struggle with that too. But we have to learn how to say no. So
do a lot of free work.
True. All right. So it means that if I come to you for free work, you're not going to say no.
I will try my best to say no. I said I'm in training of that. I'm doing a course on that.
All right. Thank you. Good. So 2 multiple choice questions. First one is there's a movie being made in Pakistan, and they picked you as a heroine of that movie, and you signed that contract. Okay. So you are the heroine in that movie. There is no way out, right? Now you're given a choice to pick a hero to work against you and beside you, and I'll give you a few names. Only 1 out of those names you can pick. Nobody else. Fawad Khan, Hamza Ali Abbasi, Ahsan Khan, Imran Abbas, Faisal Qureshi, or Shan.
Sorry, come again.
Fawad Khan, Hamza Ali Abbasi, Ahsan Khan, Imran Abbas, Faisal Qureshi, or Shan?
I think Faisal Qureshi.
Faisal Qureshi. Okay.
Yeah, he's of my age.
Great actor.
And I love his acting since Toba.
Yes. Yeah. That was one of.
What was that? There was his comedy drama. It was 1990s. Bhuta from Toba Tek Singh.
Bhuta from Toba Tek Singh. That's it. Yes. Friends, I have your comments. I'm going to take those comments after this segment because we need some continuity here. All right. Second question is you're still the heroine in that movie, and you are given the option to pick your side heroine to work with you. You cannot pick your bestie. All right. I'll give you a few names. Pick one of those. Sanam Baloch, Mavra, Mahira Khan, Saba Kamar, or Mehwish Hayat Khan.
If I can, Sabah Kamar. If she would say yes to play her side, I love her.
Awesome. She's great. She's wonderful. Yes.
I love
her. All right. The time is for the rapid fire now. The first word is home.
Punjab.
Tea or coffee?
Tea, anytime.
Tea, anytime. Air.
Sorry?
Air that we breathe.
Florida.
All right. That's good. Horse.
Beautiful.
Mountain.
Oh, amazing. Heaven. Kashmir.
Biryani.
Karachi.
Biryani.
Ki Varnani. Karachi.
Good. Awesome. Flower.
Nargis.
Spoon.
Silver.
Friend.
No one.
There is a word in Urdu I'm going to ask you, and I'll translate it in English as well.
Yes.
Neighbor, but Padosan.
Parveen.
Thank you.
She's my dear friend. She's my neighbor from Lahore, where I lived.
Awesome. Next word is love.
Love. It's a philosophy. Love is a philosophy. Love is a philosophy.
Philosophy. All right. That means people don't understand, or we don't understand.
What market says it's not love.
Okay. All right. Cool. Next word is owl. Ullu.
It's beautiful.
Success.
Process.
Story.
Every life.
Donkey.
Innocent. The Lahoris ate it. Bichara. He couldn't save himself.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Gada biryani. Saas. The word breathe. Breath.
Okay. The breath.
Yeah.
My son.
Wonderful. Fair complexion. Sambla.
The most beautiful in the world.
Wow. Pen.
Sorry?
Pen. Qalam.
Pen? Oh, a legacy misunderstood.
Wow. Mother-in-law. Saas.
Taught me a lot.
Wow. Peace.
Most politicized agenda.
Soul.
I started finding it.
Awesome. Cleverness.
Misunderstood concept for hypocrisy.
Wow. Seriousness.
It's natural when you're pondering.
Driver.
Me.
All right.
Because since I was jobless, everyone considers I'm doing a job. So I'm doing
At least you had a job.
business, so I'm jobless. So so I made a joke at myself. I cracked and I was like, oh, my caste is a driver. Whoever needs a car, he's like, oh, send Zara. This was how it was in Lahore.
Right. Next word is friendship.
I think a heavenly relation sent by God.
Awesome. Leader.
Not found anymore.
Not found anymore. Boss.
Yeah. Boss. The mother-in-law.
अच्छा ठीक है, okay. Black.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Nihari.
Don't like it.
Don't like it. Time.
So precious.
All right, cool. Last two words are, one of them is heart, dil.
Heart. Heart is like the most confusing thing, I think.
Yeah, that's good. And the last word is Pakistan.
Pakistan, my heart bleeds for it.
Awesome, awesome. So that was segment U and Q. I hope
Thanks.
you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for playing so nicely, Nargis. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
One more comment we have here from Learning with Ease is it is always difficult to say no. Yeah, exactly. I hate people who waste time by talking about people. Yeah. Gossips and about people. It's just a waste of time. You're right. You're right. Very right.
Yes.
Yeah, but we should, I think we should learn how to say no and when to say no. This is really, really important
Yes.
for the success. I think it's really important. Well, thank you so much. That would conclude the show. What would be your final message about the topic, today's topic, Nargis, which was challenges for women entrepreneurs, and about this show? What are you going to say?
I think every woman in life, no matter whether she's based at home or she is doing a job, should start her own business or try to start her own business or be a part of women owned business once in life, because business is something which the tool according to contemporary market. Business is something which is more for women than for men, because in business you have to come up with solutions with the problem. So every day you can have a new challenge, and you may have to go for more innovation towards finding the solutions. And that is, I think, that motherly character which is so natural, so given to women. It's so aligns with the business that I think, yes, every woman should try doing business once in life. We do have challenges, we may have challenges, but it's worth it. And women have a different approach towards resolution of the problems. Women have different approach. They are resilient. They were sent in different all over the centuries. They existed. They compromised. They sacrificed. They were resilient. They were born somewhere. Their graves were in some other tribe. So, but they resisted, and they went through the times and changes and transformations. So they have more capacity to transform than the men have.
True.
And then women are not so egoistic about their identities. Only if they handle their insecurity and they can work on their capacity, they should go for business. It's really for them.
Awesome. Awesome. Great message. Thank you so much for hopping on the show. This will conclude the show. On behalf of Dreams Television, the Aijaz Qureshi Show, myself, my entire team who helps me run this show, the friends who have watched us on our YouTube channel and Twitch TV channel and commented, all those friends who will be watching the recording of this show according to their own time zones and will be commenting later on. Thank you so much, Ms. Nargis Zahra, for hopping on the show and sharing your thoughts about the challenges for women entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
All right, viewers, that was Ms. Nargis Zahra all the way from Gaithersburg, Maryland, USA. Great person, entrepreneur, very successful one, as well as an educationist in the past. And you heard her. I'm sure you liked the show. How did we do? You are the better judge. Please do let us know how we can make this show better. Thank you so much for hopping. And until next time, this is your host, Aijaz Qureshi, saying goodbye. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.